Happy 4th of July! I hope you are enjoying your day. Stacy, the Empowered Overthinker here, and I wanted to share a little bit with you since in honor of it being the 4th of July and Independence Day. First of all, though, you know what? I want to thank my fellow veterans. I am a veteran, if you didn't know. So I want to thank my battle buddies, all the other veterans that I know, don't know. I know firsthand what it's like to sacrifice to support and protect the freedoms that we enjoy every day living in this country. Hey, Rob. And so I think it's just important to honor that first and foremost. So thank you. If you have served our country in any way, thank you to the families who support their veteran families as well. So since it is Independence Day, you know, we really talk a lot about freedom. And as little as 3 years ago, I was not free. I struggled every day in the prison that I created in my mind. I was completely locked into this self-imposed prison of overthinking, of worry, of anxiety, of depression, really living, not even living, just existing every day as a victim of my past, the traumas that I had experienced growing up as a little kid, military traumas as well. And then interacting with the world around me from that victim space, you know, just everything was happening to me. I had no control over anything and was very reactive and quite miserable. And that's why I say I was just existing. I wasn't really engaging in my life. I mean, pretty much the way that I dealt with things was just autopilot. Complete and utter autopilot. That was the safest thing, you know, until it got to the point where I just hit complete and total shutdown. I mean, I couldn't work anymore. My health was in shambles, and all of the issues that were going on in my life, I created because of how and who I was being in my mind. And it was that prison, that self-imposed bondage of negative thinking and fear, crippled by fear and limiting beliefs that constantly had me, you know, worrying about what others thought about me, whether or not, you know, fearing that I was never ever good enough, always overdoing it, you know, being a people pleaser because I put all of my personal value on what other people thought about me, whether or not they were happy, you know, which is an exhausting place to be. It's exhausting trying to make other people happy because it's impossible. But that's how I lived my life, and I was on empty. I had no boundaries, no way to protect my energy or my emotions, and I just took everything on, burdens that were not even mine, and all of that weight created a lot of that self-imposed prison. All of that burden is what slowed me down to eventual shutdown. And all of that stuff was completely my choice. All of it was self-generated. Everything that was going on in my life and my health was completely simply a reflection of what was going on in here, that prison. You know, it doesn't take long before that prison, that external prison, hi Stephanie, that internal prison becomes that external prison, you know, we create. And that was not a very good place to be. It really was just existing. Now, totally different. Totally different. For the first time in my life, I've reached a point where I feel like I've been able to embrace and live and experience true freedom, because I'm finally free of that prison, finally free of that negative thinking, that inner critic, finally free of the constant fear and self-doubt that just plagued everything that I did. Finally free of worrying about all the stuff that I don't have control over. That's the biggest thing. I was before worrying about all these things that ultimately I had no control over, and so that's super disempowering, because you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything. And now I just focus my energy on what I do have control over, which is what I think and what I do. And it's a very, very different place to be. Ultimately, that's true freedom, is when you shift out of that prison, everything around you starts to change and reflect that new way of thinking. You're no longer locked in to the fear and the limiting beliefs and the doubt and the negativity. If you are struggling with any of those things that I mentioned, the fear, the self-doubt, the negative thinking, the worry, the worry about all these things that you don't have control over, which creates anxiety. If you're struggling with depression because of all the anger and guilt and shame and resentment about the past, victim to the past, let me help you learn how to let that go. If you want that tool to start that process, get the free journal. It's everything that I used to break free of that prison that I'm talking about. Everything that I used is in there. And so if you're ready to shift your mindset and start working towards true freedom from yourself, the bondage that we create for ourselves, empoweredoverthinker.com/journal. Get your free journal, just pay for shipping. That will get you on the path to breaking free from that stuff, what you think right now that gets in your way. I didn't even get into, I think, the guilt and the shame aspect of it. That was huge as well. When we think about being victim to our past, the guilt, the shame that we have about things that happened to us that sometimes we really didn't have control over, the traumas we experience, and then the guilt and the shame that we have for the thoughts and feelings that we have about it. We have all these feelings and all these burdens on us, and we feel guilty for wanting to let go of the burden, wanting to let go of all of these things that we carry. And it's okay. It's okay to let go. It's okay to let go of the past, to stop worrying about the future. It's okay to just be present. A lot of why we don't do it is actually safety. We have all these fears, and so we need to create safety from within. Everything that I built into the journal, the 90-day transformation journal, is absolutely the foundation of creating that safety from within, building that relationship with yourself, creating those boundaries, like I said, to get you towards that true freedom from that prison. I hope you have a marvelous 4th of July. Have the opportunity to just completely be present. Please just disconnect, right? This is the last time I'm going to be on my phone today, and I'm not even really on it. I'm talking to you because you're important, and I needed to share this message with you. But enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, enjoy your free day celebrating freedom. And you are enough.